literally, she sat in that front row, and there's a clip going viral right now of Meghan, who seems to be laughing in the front row as a model walking the Balenciaga show, tripped, and she turns to her companion to look at him for affirmation. Isn't this funny? We're laughing at the misfortune of another. And the guy sits there stone-faced. He won't even make eye contact with her. This woman is poison. I don't know when the culture at large or the elites are going to get the message, but hey, keep inviting her to your stuff. Do it.
Yeah. That was Marcus Anderson, who is, leadership in Soho
Soho
House.
House.
And I think that he knows how to behave, like act like you've been there before. Like
Exactly.
you don't giggle
Act
and
like you've been there before.
you don't giggle and cackle when somebody trips on a runway or, and you did it's almost like she registers it's not appropriate and she quickly turns around and you're just like, this is, do you know how to function as a human being?
She's vile. What it shows, if that is indeed what happened, that a model tripped and she laughed at it, and openly laughed. She knows cameras are on her. I mean, this is the entire point of the trip. Cameras, cameras, cameras. She thinks it's funny. She thinks she takes joy in the misfortune of others. And if this isn't, and I'm going to extrapolate, but fairly, I think, if this isn't further proof, apparently, and I know we'll get to it, William is fuming over that stunt she pulled, filming herself driving past the tunnel where Diana died. But if this isn't further proof that this is a malignant narcissist, my opinion, who revels in the misfortune of others and should be kept away by all measure, I guarantee you she took joy in Catherine's illness. I guarantee you.
Oh my gosh. Well, so I had to unfollow somebody I've worked with in the past because they wrote some article saying that if any other royal would have taken that video, which by the way, they don't, because they don't feel the need,
they would never.
They don't feel the need to document like their feet up on a seat. But if any other royal would do that, people would be like, "Ah, heart emoji." And I was like, what a moron you are to defend this. She knew what she was doing, Maureen. You can't I mean, actually what was so funny to me was when I sent you the videos, because I screenshot like a creep. You're like, how basic. And then I'm like, no, she's by Diana's death scene. And then you were like, she is sick. I mean, you're right. She's basic. But then you realize that this is more calculated than it appears to be. And I honestly think it's because she thinks she is one step ahead of us all of the time. And it's like, no, we know exactly what you're doing. That's what you're doing is you don't deserve the Duchess title is like the nicest way I can put it.
I just hope Williams, he's really, it's a Sophie's choice, because if he strips her and Harry of the titles, then it becomes more narrative, more fuel.
Yeah, but then she actually becomes a princess then, which is almost like, oh, I'd rather her be a duchess than a princess.
The Princess Henry, right?
Yes, yeah.
Not Princess Meghan, it would be the Princess Henry.
Well, Tyler Perry doesn't care. He's still going to call her Princess Meghan like he did on Twitter when it was her birthday.
Oh, God. The Diana death tunnel disaster tourism moment is so ghoulish and so vile, and she knows, and we have talked about the reporting that she exploited that mother wound in order to sink her nails into him, and wearing Diana's favorite perfume, their first date, all this really creepy stuff. If he doesn't wake up to this, I mean, there is zero hope for him. I began to think he is waking up with that footage we both talked about last week of the two of them at Kevin Costner's 805 charity event. And he was on stage having his moment, and she, apparently counter to what he told her, which is, don't come on stage, came on stage.
Yeah.
And his back was to her, and she taps him like, here I am. And he like he's like, what? So I began to think, okay, are we waking up a little bit? Are we coming out of this years-long coma?
Well, yeah, we'll have to, in a second, I want to predict how we think they're going to act in New York, because I that's one of the first things I said to you. Like, I'm curious to see how their body language will be in New York based on this trip, because I feel like she was insensitive to Harry's feelings. And I saw some people in the comments that were like, Kinsey, wake up. Harry's not a victim. He's not a victim. But you know what I would say? And I'm not a professional. I don't think he's mentally stable either. So agreed. I do think,
Agreed. as I said to you, who better to get an award about mental health and humanitarianism than these two, the gruesome twosome themselves?
Right, right. Okay, one, this is kind of a question that's beneath us, but I have to ask, I just couldn't do this, okay?
Please.
Why did she post multiple photos of her and her friends with their feet on the seats in the car? Are they trying to look relatable? Because to me, it just looks rude.
Hmm.
Germs are
Hmm.
on the sidewalk,
Hmm.
especially in Paris. Okay.
Hmm.
I
Hmm.
don't want that on the butt of my pretty dress, my nice dress, if I'm the next person to rent this minivan. I just, I couldn't understand. She tries to tell us she wants us to refer to her as her title. She's constantly telling us that she is, she's wearing $300,000 worth of jewelry. The feet on the freaking seat. It's low class.
She's utterly classless. She's utterly classless. And it's always those people who have to make a big show. I mean, it runs right counter to her Netflix enterprise, in which she's the hostess of Nonpareil and how to do things. That is a private driver's car. That car belongs to somebody, whether it's an individual or a corporation. You don't put your feet up. I wouldn't do it in an Uber that,
Yeah.
like, you know what I mean? I I,
No.
I don't do it. It's I think part of it is like I actually don't think it's about proving you're relatable. It's look at me. Because first
Mm.
of all, she's wearing Hermes mules that cost, at least $1,000. So as you said, everything is deliberate. I think that we've got the other feet up because she's proving she has friends. Those are paid
Paid.
hair and makeup
Yeah.
people. I guarantee you.
Yeah, it's Daniel. I mean, It's Daniel.
Daniel needs to get the effing memo. I saw him go online and he's like, we just had such a win in Paris. And I'm just going to walk you through all of the makeup I used on Megan and what I did and how I did it. And, for beginning, I used my usual skin prep and I'm like, let's go.
Yeah.
I'm scrolling past Daniel.
Right.
Daniel, she humiliated you.
Mm. Well,
Season
everybody was
one,
talking
part
about
A.
the lack of orange. So we do thank Daniel for chilling out when it comes to the bronzer, but maybe that was like with the 5150 dress, maybe that was a necessity to chill out on the bronzer because she didn't want to get any stains on it or
I
something.
agree. She looks ridiculous. So my favorite, when I talked about it on the Nerve the other day, is like her exiting the hotel, right? And the paparazzi's lined up, and I think they're trolling her. They're like, Megan, beautiful as ever. I think they're trolling her, and she's got like her jaw. I call it like the dislocated jaw. It's just come unhinged, and we're doing our best '90s supermodel face. Like Kate Moss would never. Okay,
No.
Kate Moss is my queen. She's
Yeah.
stumbling around Paris Fashion Week drunk in like designer jeans and looking amazing, But like, this one, it's like her best Zoolander, her best Blue Steel, the slow walk. And I honestly wonder if the house is trolling her because what they put her in, she's a small person and she is swallowed up by the like this swaths of like messianic fabric. It's like Jesus Christ himself walking, from like hotel to like SUV. And you notice in that one reel where she like stops before she clambers inside that SUV, no doubt to put her filthy feet up, and she turns ever so. Have you gotten
Yeah.
me? Have you
Did you
gotten
get
all of
what you
this?
want?
Have
Yeah.
you gotten this masterpiece?